Yo, every Wednesday night, you better tune in tight. At 7 p.m. CST, we bring in that insight. Halas Hall Report, best podcast in the game. Stats and facts, you'll remember the name. Host Ken Dub got the knowledge on lock. Co-host Woody the Bear fan, talking all that talk. 3 Bear fans chilling, opinions on the side. We're here for the love, riding that Bear pride. Halas Hall, we break it down right. Join us on the journey from day to night. Blue and orange army taking over the scene. 2025's the year, know what we mean. Bear fans unite, it's our time to rise. Sunday mornings, pre-game vibes in the skies. Lions think they're fierce with Dan Campbell's call, but all that greed ain't gonna help them at all. Same old story, we know how it goes. They just can't compete, everybody knows. Minnesota Vikings always talking smack, but when it's game day, they ain't got the knack. Sitting on the couch while we're making a stand. Over here in Chi-Town, we're the best in the land. Halas Hall, we break it down right. Join us on the journey from day to night. Blue and orange army taking over the scene. 2025's the year, know what we mean. Their fans unite, it's our time to rise. Sunday mornings, pre-game vibes in the sky. Packer fans yell blow pack blow, but can't see the truth. We're stealing the show. Rivalry heated, but we stay real cool. Halas Hall Report, yeah, that's the rule. With every episode, we build that hype. Stats and team news, we got the right type. Fan base strong, we ain't looking back. 2025, it's a winning attack. So gather round fans, put your hands in the air. Every Wednesday night, we're breathing that bear. Join the revolution, watch the magic unfold. Halas Hall Report, we're breaking the mold. Halas Hall, we break it down right. Join us on the journey from day to night. Blue and orange army taking over the scene. 2025's the year, know what we mean. Their fans unite, it's our time to rise. Sunday mornings, pre-game vibes in the sky. So mark your calendars, don't miss a beat. Every Wednesday night, Halas Hall can't be beat. Stats, facts, team news on deck. Halas Hall Report, what did you expect? 2025, the Bears are here to stay. Blue and orange in the north, leading the way.
Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Halas Hall Report. Of course, we got the normal crew here. We got Woody, who has no opinion about anything. Good evening, Woody.
Word.
And, of course, we got Broski Bear, who wants to remind you.
Hit the like and subscribe, everybody.
Wow, he's getting paid for this.
Hey.
Fuck it.
For those of you on X, I know it's a little bit harder, but please, comment. Let us know you're there. Ask your questions. Give it a heart. Give a share. Give it a bookmark. Same thing on Facebook and YouTube. So, gentlemen, it's been an interesting week. Obviously, we had the Aaron Rodgers thing. Oh, and by the way, there's some Aaron Rodgers news, too. Not only did he get a 1-year contract, he got married.
Yeah, 3 months. He was hidden for 3 months. Yeah. But it was, we all know it's not Danica Patrick.
Right,
so.
Right. Yeah, she's back to being a Bears fan.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah. So, okay, you got married. Cool. I mean, good for Aaron. And then the surprise this week, and Broski, we talked about it a little bit on Tuesday. Jair Alexander, no longer going to be a Green Bay Packer.
Peace out, Jair. But I think there's a good chance he stays in the division.
Yeah, Minnesota.
So, and also, by the way, Nick Chubb won't be a Bear. He signed with the Texans. We were kicking the tires on.
I heard J.K. Dobbins signed with the Broncos. Is that true?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and I mentioned that the other day that there was some interest out there. So we might not be doing any upgrading to the running back room. Now there's still some D-line guys out there. And I don't know Jair, we talked about the other day on the morning show. Minnesota. Kwesi will find a way to make the contract work. And they seem to be taking the Green Bay cast-offs and doing really well with them. I wouldn't mind him in Chicago either if we could make it work. What do you think, Woody?
Come on. More positions that we need before that. We need an
Don't
edge
disagree.
rusher too. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean the Bears are pretty deep at corner. He actually did suffer a torn PCL last year, so not sure I really want to roll the dice on a injured cornerback like that. But for the right price, he might be worth the gamble for a certain team. Dude, if I'm Detroit or Minnesota, I'm going after him.
Well,
the reason. Did you guys learn that the Nick Chubb thing? Come on now, guys. Let's go.
Well, I mean, the reason I mentioned him for the Bears is because a lot of Bears fans hate on Tyreek Stevenson. I think Tyreek Stevenson's not bad. I think he's actually pretty good. It was his second year last year. Okay, he made a young guy mistake that did not affect the outcome of the game, but he still caught hell for it. Fine. But if you had Jair, guess what? Stevenson now becomes rotational, a bench guy, not the starter. And if Jair gets hurt, okay, we still have Stevenson. That was my train of thought with that you want someone to have even more depth or create a no-fly zone. Because if you get a healthy Jair Alexander, you do have a no-fly zone in Chicago.
For sure.
Then the line doesn't matter as much.
And you prevent the Lions or the Vikings from getting him.
Correct.
Yeah. So, Woody, is that a Charlotte Knights shirt, by the way?
No, this is Rick Mott. His kid plays for the Knights in Florida.
Okay.
This is the shirt that he sent up to me.
Okay.
There you go.
It looks like the White Sox AAA baseball team shirt.
At least you're looking at me. I like that.
Oh, it's hard not to. I mean, come on.
You step on the bag. Oh, he's out. Fuck. All right. Go ahead.
So, I mean, no, keeping him out of Detroit and Minnesota, because he would definitely give them a plus up if healthy. And then, of course, there are other places Jair could go that would probably give them a little more legitimacy. He would help out in Cincinnati. He'd help out in Pittsburgh. He'd help out in Buffalo. I mean, there's a lot of good places he could go.
For sure. You're looking at Green Bay, and I mean, Green Bay's cornerback room just very unimpressive right now.
But McKinney
was only really good when Jair played, from what I could tell.
And they're absolutely right to him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look at some of the interceptions. Like, he was just standing there, and the ball was like, oh, look, the ball's coming right at me.
Yeah.
Like the Matthew Stafford pick he had. He's just standing there, ball's right. Oh, look, here it is. Let me catch it. Oh, look, another interception.
Didn't he have 8 interceptions in 8 straight games or something like that?
It was 6 or 8, and none of them were particularly hard.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's not going to get one. Oh, wait, Stafford threw in the ball. Never mind.
Well, the thing is that I remember a couple years ago, Packers fans that said that Jair Alexander was better than JJ, and now they just hate him for even though he got released. It's not like he demanded a trade or anything like that. Now they're happy that he left.
And as more of the story comes out about the history of what went on with him there, I can't say. I think he showed some restraint. He's like, look, guys, let's just do the surgery, heal me, and we're back at it. Okay, I missed the rest of this year. Big deal. We're good for the next 5. And the Packers said, fuck you. We want you back now. And he furthers the injury. And at that point, he should have been like, yo, you guys don't care about me. Trade me. He didn't do that. They said, well, then give me a new deal. Well, we want to pay you markedly less money now. Well, you're the reason why. You're the reason I had this injury issue because you wouldn't let me fix it. So I get where Jair Alexander was at. Now, Packer fans, of course, will say, oh, he's a cancer. He's terrible, blah, 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 because that's what they do. But, yeah, I'd like to see him within the division and not be in Detroit or Minnesota. I mean, if the price is right, let's get him here. Keep them out of their places, strengthen our defense. Yeah, we do need some more line. But you know what? I'll roll with Deo if I have a no-fly zone behind him.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see about our buddy Deo this year.
Yep.
I hope Jair just goes to some scrubby team that we're not playing this year who can actually just pay him. And
no, because he wants to play the Packers this year. He wants to play the Packers, so he's going to go to the NFC North. the NFC East or the AFC or was it the AFC North? I mean, those are three divisions where teams that would be perfect for them.
Well, people were saying this, and I did not read this, so I don't know if it's true, that he said something to the effect he would take less money to stay in the division.
Yeah, I heard that too. And
I don't know if that's legit or not, but
that's like the mayor saying that. Never mind. I'm not going to get into Mayor Bass. You know what I mean? I mean, look, it's a stupid move on the player's part in a way, right? Because it's like, I'm not going to sign the extension because you want to give me all this incentives, $10 million and all these incentives. And then they say, well, fine, we're going to cut you. Well, you know what? Read between these lines, and I'm going to go play over there for $5 million plus incentives.
Yeah.
Yeah, you showed them, you know.
Yeah, the entire situation, though, it's just like you could tell there's a ton of bad blood. So going both ways, you know.
Yeah, but I think the Packers created that with the player. I mean, if what we're hearing is true and it stems from the injury, now he wanted to get corrective surgery and they refused to let him and said, no, we're going to do this. We're not going to let you get the surgery. You're going to do this, and you're going to come back this year, and then it exacerbated the issue. Can you blame the dude?
I can't blame anyone for not wanting to be in Green Bay for any reason.
This is true.
Who wants to be in Green Bay, you know? But yeah, Nate Hobbs, they have Nate Hobbs. Like, he's not good. Yeah, they have isn't one of their cornerbacks like someone named Nixon or something like that? Like, he's really not that good.
I'm not concerned about their defense. They got Rashawn Gary, who is containable. They got a great defensive coordinator last year who they snuck him in because this cat, look at head coach in a good NCAA program. I don't like the way NIL is going. If they get paid, I might as well get paid. And he did a great job with them last year. But guess what? The cat's out of the bag. You're not going to overachieve with underskilled players again this year like you did last year. I am not concerned with Green Bay's defense yet. I want to see how they are for the first, kind of like the rest of the division, this entire division, us included. Let me see how we are in the first four games or so, 4 to 5 games. And then I'll start to say, okay, I need to be worried about that. I'm concerned about this. Honestly, it's they don't have any individual players that make me go, oh, no. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. Like, they played well together as a unit last year, but, hey, not world beaters by any stretch. Yeah, so all I'm asking for this year is for Dahlman and the Bears' interior O-line to
be healthy.
Just stay healthy, guys. Like that's all I really care about. If that happens, good things are going to happen for this team. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm in that boat. I mean, that's the thing, Dahlman. I know we all went back and forth on him, right, in the leading into free agency. Not surprised we did do it, even though there was an argument not to do it and keep what we had. But once again, you know, look, I trust Poles pretty well with the moves he makes. I mean, yeah, every GM is going to make 1 or 2 moves. You're going to go, yeah, that didn't really work out. Chase Claypool is one. Some of the guys he brought in the line in the past have been that way too, because of injury. Because they've been decent players, but last year to have two of your starting 5 go down with injury before he even started. Ooh, you know, and now he does. The only thing I concern myself with Poles is like, man, you got 2 guys who last year had injury time.
Exactly. Right? Yep.
And that's the only thing I worry about.
Yeah, at least Dahlman's essentially a 2-year deal. So if he doesn't work out, they're not really stuck.
But we can't be wasting these years because, like, okay, with Caleb, we've got a longer window, right? He's not like a wide receiver, running backs, tight ends. Their window's usually smaller for how long you're going to have them at a high level. Quarterbacks you can have for a decade.
Sure, and you're preaching to the choir here, man. Like, I wasn't on board with Dahlman. He's kind of like the best of what was available, so I understand the move. But in a perfect world, yeah, I mean, I'm just disappointed they didn't even draft a center and they re-signed Kramer. Like that to me was.
But Kramer's a young dude though, too. Though it's not like Kramer. Isn't Kramer like this is like his 4th year?
He's a fullback. Come on.
Yeah, but yeah, he missed essentially his first year, so he's only played 2 years, I think. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's a young cat. So that's. I don't mind when they sign these young guys, if they're showing some promise. Like Kieran, a lot of fans last year. Oh my God, get rid of Kieran! Get rid of that bum. Like guys, he's a rookie. You've got 3 more years of him under cheap team control. And it takes a while for linemen. It does take a while for linemen. There are very few linemen who can come out the rookie year and be immediate impact guys. And those are your guys who get taken maybe in the top 10 or top 15 of a draft. Anything out of that, they're usually somewhat of a couple-year project, a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road. I mean, look at Zach Tom, right? He was a 3-year project. Really, it's 3rd year is when he became a starter.
Steve-O, you hurt my feelings every time you talk shit about Chicago. So come on. Come on now. But, I did hear this today. I was reading that. Probably he was sitting out because of his shoulder surgery. Loveland was out. But Burden, they said he had a soft tissue injury during rookie minicamp. He was held out today. So that is the update.
Who was?
Burden.
Oh, Luther Burden III?
Yeah.
You know what I love about that pick? After the Bears picked it, all the national sports guys, well, he's only good at the slot. He's not a good receiver. He's only going to be good in the slot. You mean the whole reason why the Bears drafted him?
Exactly. They had no faith in Tyler Scott.
Whose name I still haven't heard mentioned once. Like, I haven't heard his name in a long time.
No, but we're going to hear his name a lot during camp and preseason because he'll get a lot of snaps. And then people start talking about him again because that's what happens every year. That's the thing I hate about camp in the preseason. You're talking about guys and people get wrapped up in guys like we all did with Wheeler last year. Tell me no one here. Tell me that we all didn't like Wheeler and pulled for that kid to get on the roster. After watching him in camp, after watching him on Hard Knocks, it was hard not to like Ian Wheeler, and you could see potential. And that happens every year. And same thing with Scott. Every year in camp, he's working out great, makes these nice catches, he's doing this, he's doing that. And then the season comes,
he's fumbling.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I hate about the preseason and camp. I want to see the starters doing some stuff in camp. I'm tired of getting my heartstrings attached to these 3rd and 4th and undrafted guys to see whether or not they make a roster. I mean, it's cool and all, but then we overvalue them.
That's why I want to add. They're talking about this. I don't know how far it's going to go, and we all heard this. Adding 2 more games and shrinking down the preseason 2 games.
Adding 2 more games? I thought it was 1 more game. It was 1 for 1.
Oh, yeah, because, 16-18. Remember back then?
Go from 17 to 18 and then go to 2 preseason games, which still is not nearly enough time for these 3rd, 4th, and 5th stringers.
I'm just looking at the injury side. A lot of injuries happen in preseason or training camp and preseason.
Do they, Woody?
Yeah, because that's why all my fantasy drafts are after the training camp.
Right, but Woody, look at the big injuries that happened last year. How many of those were game injuries versus soft tissue injuries in camp? Because they cut at practice, got hit at practice, or did something at practice. Like, how many of these guys are getting season-ending injuries?
Yeah, but it's not necessarily
Wheeler.
It's not necessarily season-ending. It's more like you get that nagging injury that you get at the end of camp that stays with you the entire season, just like Montez Sweat last year. I don't think he was 100% at any point last season because he got nicked up. He missed the last 3 weeks of
who?
Montez Sweat.
Oh, yes. Sweat.
Yeah.
And then the season before that, Brisker. I mean, go figure.
These guys are getting they get more nicked up in week 1 and week 2, and because they haven't been playing, because you're going to think about it, camp is supposed to ramp you up. Camp and preseason is supposed to ramp you up for the regular season, but because the starters are not getting ramped up, right? they're not at that level yet. And sometimes, some of these guys who are second, third level, they end up starting the season for whatever reason, right? A guy maybe has some kind of injury, or maybe the guy earned the spot somehow. And so the normal starters who didn't play during the preseason and only did practice at camp, they're behind the power curve. And I think they get more dinged up that way because they haven't ramped up properly to start the season. Like, even if you're going to keep it the way you're keeping it, you've got to do more to ramp these players up for week one so that they're in better shape, better football shape, better game shape than they are coming in now. Because the first 2 or 3 weeks every year, major injuries, and you can tell it's sloppy. Guys aren't there mentally or physically yet. Then by weeks 4 and 5, they start to get there.
What did Steve say? He wants us 3? Man. Versus you 3 in a bar. Wow, another guy will be paying for a plane ticket over here. Oh, brother. These young kids.
They haven't seen Broski yet. So, I mean, he might change his tune when he sees Broski.
That's funny. But, yeah, man.
So, I just wanted to do more. I mean, and then, look, we got $14 million in cap. The Bears probably, actually, if I'm being honest, the Bears probably don't sign anyone between now and camp of note. I don't think, last year we were sitting about the same. Oh, you're 52. Well, Steve's in my age bracket there. So,
yeah, Steve's light work.
Yeah,
I'll have,
I'll let the young guys take care of my light work for me. There.
Yeah, 52 is young. You're young. These young kids.
But I mean, honestly, the Bears were kind of the same situation last year. They didn't spend the money, and I don't see if he didn't spend the money already. I don't think he's going to spend it.
Prediction time. Time.
Because look, they would have already signed one of these edge rushers that we're talking that Woody likes to talk about. If he was going to do it, he would have already done it. I think unless it's something like what happened here, if someone gets released, that wasn't okay. Now there's maybe an opportunity that they'll spend it. But honestly, I don't see him going after Judon or any of these guys that are out there because they would have already done it. So
I don't know. Do you ever see players sign at the end of training camp?
Yeah, they do. But they want players here today, not tomorrow. They want players learning the system as quickly as possible. So I don't know.
I don't know, Ken. You thought we were going to sign Nick Chubb, so I'm
begging
to differ here.
I think Nick Chubb would be a good signing.
I think what's going to happen.
I would have liked to see it.
They're going to let camp start. They're going to see how they're going. The only position they really need to add, like they have to add someone to, I feel, is defensive end.
Look at the Bears feel that they are. The Bears feel that they are weaker in depth, not at defensive end, but the defensive interior. So they don't share our concern. They think they're good at the edge.
Yeah, I don't know if they really think that. But what I'm saying is they're going to hold out and they're going to sign a veteran DN right at the end. So I'm not ruling out them re-signing DeMarcus Walker. I'm not ruling out them signing Clowney. I'm not ruling out the fact that they might have like a handshake agreement with one of these veteran guys who are just like, dude, I'm doing my thing this summer. I'll sign right before camp or beginning of camp, and I'll come in then. I could see that happening. I really could, because I just can't believe they're going to roll with unproven Deo, unproven Booker.
Well, but
Rob, they're going to roll with him too. Like, yeah.
But Broski, for them, Deo's not unproven because remember when they asked about the Deo contract, they said they gave him that contract of what they project him to be. So they're not, for them, it's not unproven Deo. It's like we project Deo to be X.
Right, exactly, based on what he could be, meaning right now he's still unproven. But I'm not saying he can't work out, but just look at the depth. Like Booker is, in my opinion, like a pass rush specialist. Yeah. He gets hurt. Are you really feeling good starting Dominique Robinson or Daniel Hardy? I'm not. So maybe they do coach those guys up and they feel comfortable with them, and that's what they go with. I wouldn't rule out DeMarcus Walker return or Clowney or another vet that I haven't named who's out there. Maybe someone gets cut or something too, and they pick them up, or even swinging a trade. Remember, Poles pulled out last year. He traded for what's his face from Seattle. So I could see something like that happening. I'm just that's the only position right now. I'm like, oh, when I look at it.
Between now and camp, like honestly, I don't see them pulling the trigger on a signature before camp. Yeah, I know. I was laughing at what Steve's post too. Now, the only way I can see them maybe signing someone before is if, like for instance, you have a situation like we had this week. Someone gets released, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. So maybe there's Jair isn't a guy we want to spend on because like we're covered on the defensive backfield. We're good. But hey, maybe an edge gets released or some interior defensive lineman. And then all of a sudden, Paul's like, well, wait a minute. I can get this guy for $10 million. Let me go get him. So, I mean, there's – I think because this would be program spending, right? Like they had a cap number they wanted to be at going into camp. They're probably at that number or very close to it. So now unless a player becomes available that isn't already available, I don't think we're going to see a signing before camp.
Let's give Hendrickson and Cincinnati a couple of draft picks and just bring them on over, people.
I don't think they do that either, though, Woody. Because
I know. That's why, Ken, I always listen to you because you're always right.
Well, no. Wait. Well, here's my rationale, though, Woody, and tell me what you think of it, okay? The Bears, the Vikings, the Lions, and the Packers, all four teams to a degree have been very good at programming out their money from year to year to year. That's why every year we've got enough money to do what we need to do. When you go out and you trade for a guy like Hendrickson, you throw off your money for the next couple of years because you don't have programmed in having to pay this cat $30 million a year for the next 3 years. You've programmed in that you're going to give Brisker some money. You're going to give Gordon some money. And then next year you're going to give this guy money and that guy money. But now when you disrupt that by bringing in an extra $20 to $30 million requirement, now that's where you have to start getting creative and you start getting problems. And maybe now you have to let a guy go that you weren't planning to let go because you've screwed up your program. So I'm saying they would get him because of the financial sense of what they want to do with the team over the next 2 or 3 years.
Well, that's what I want. I'm looking for, and I said it on the morning show too. I just don't want to be good now. I want to be good down a couple of years from now. So we need to get these players up to par and get who we get to get these wins and in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I
just don't want to play for this year. I want a team that I want to go a couple of years in the playoffs, winning games, not just 1 year and done.
Yeah, and that being said, it's more than a 1 year fix in my opinion. So I just don't want to overpay for any Band-Aids this year. If you sign DeMarcus Walker or Clowney to like a 1 year deal just to get you through this season, with a respectable player, and then really address the long-term future defensive end next offseason.
Yeah, because you're right. Because you've got Dale you just signed. You've got young rookies coming up, right? And then you're going to have cap money next year. You've already programmed out your extensions, what you expect to spend, and then what you're going to have available for free agents. So you've already programmed it out. And then you're set. So if you go out and get Hendrickson, it's a Band-Aid, but now it ruins what you're going to do at safety or corner or on the D line or the O line. Some other place on the football field now is going to have money taken away from it that you had programmed for it as you programmed out your next 3 years.
Well, then we might as well draft because these players that are available this year, like Hendrickson's not going to be on Cincinnati the whole year or at all. So then we're going to be out on him. TJ Watt, he's going to sign. It just, I don't know. He's holding out because he wants a new contract and shit like that. But we might as well draft somebody then.
There you go, Mitch. Love it. Mitch with a good comment there today.
Was it just Ken? What do you got? 2 other guys on here. Mitch.
Lions rule Packers. There you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mitch with a good comment there. No, I get what you're saying. I mean, it's one of those predicaments because, like, what if you wait until see? Look, if you wait till the trade deadline, you get them a lot cheaper. Because remember, it's a draft capital you're giving up too, right? So now you're going to get them for a second-round pick at best, and you're still going to have to pay them, right? but now you're not giving up as much draft capital either. Because right now you're probably giving up a first rounder. And that's the other piece of it.
Yeah, and going back to what you were saying earlier, like I do agree. Like I don't think the Bears sign anyone until week 1 or 2 of camp. Like they're probably done making moves until then.
I mean, and here's the thing too: you can go out and get Hendrickson right now and give up a first round pick and throw out your program money for the next 3 years, or you can get one in the first round next year. They have under cheap team control for the next 5 years.
Yeah,
I mean, about no first round pick.
I mean, I think Watt and Parsons are going to resign with their teams. I mean, I don't see that not happening. Hendrickson, that's a different story. Yeah, I don't know. He might get traded.
What's the length of his contract? What's he got left? Is it just this year?
My guy Trey,
Let me see.
I think this year. I'll look it up right now.
Well,
Trey Hendrickson contract. So, Mr. Hendrickson, he is under contract this season, and that is it.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And look, he's making his cap hit this year is 18.6 mil with a base of 15.8 is his base with a 2.6 signing bonus.
Yep.
And then he had a roster bonus of $200K. So that was nothing. So he's going to cost you probably $20 million, yeah? At age 32.
He says he's 30.
You'll be 31 this season, 32 next season.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, next season, it's going to be this season or nothing.
So that's
for
the
him.
other
He's going to sign somewhere.
Like, do you screw up your financial plan to build a long-term team over the next 2 to 5 years for a guy who's going to be 31 this year, 32 next year? Or do you keep your draft picks and go get it in the draft or in free agency and pay less money and money that you programmed out?
Well, Ken, we had, what's his name? Oh, I can't draw on his blank. Holy fuck. Yeah, we were talking about this morning, broski. I still can't remember his name. The defensive end that he had 17 and a half sacks with us from Dallas. He was old.
Yeah, but I mean, and look at the age is getting worse. These guys are
Robert Quinn. Yeah,
Robert Quinn and Khalil Mack is still at a high level at 34. I mean, some of these guys can do it. I'm not saying he can't, but and here's the other thing. Maybe they could do it if, let's say, they're not paying anything more on this year's cap, and they had programmed out to spend $30 million on defensive end next year or $20 million on a DN next year. And then it would fit the plans, right? And you could still do the other things you would do. It's just, how does Trey Henderson fit the plan for the long-term success of the Chicago Bears? Like, if he was the only piece we needed, maybe you go all in, roll the dice. But is he the only piece we need?
Yeah, no, I hear you. Okay, so I just Googled Robert Quinn. I recommend you do. Look at the image that pops up. Holy crap. Not expecting that.
And like I said, it's more of a safety thing.
Just a joke.
No, it's not like perverted or anything like that. It's like.
I wish it was.
Do you see his face?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, see, he got hit a lot. See, he got his, he's defensive end. He got some offensive lineman's nails in his helmet against his face. And
he got arrested in North Charleston in January.
Yeah, either that or Plaxico Burress got a hold of him, and that was it. Yep.
Wow.
He's 35. He's no spring chicken.
And Mitch, by the way, I'm 59 years old.
Hit and run incident in North Charleston, South Carolina.
The Lions have a different issue this year. They have issues.
Well, broski, since you have your computer on, how old's Clowney?
I think he's
32.
32. Yeah, I'll try.
32 or 33. But all these guys, Clowney, Judon, they're all about the same age. 32,
Yeah, he's
31,
30.
32, 33. Yeah, they're all their early 30s.
Yep.
I like Judon as a player, but he's a fucking headache, though.
I'd have no problem giving Clowney 1 year, 8 to 10 mil. I wouldn't. I have no problem with that. I'll tell you what, I'd rather give Clowney 1 year, 10 mil than like DeMarcus Walker 1 year, 6 or 7 mil. You might as well just get the better player. Doesn't cost that much money.
I mean, most teams want to start the season with about 10 million in cap space, right? This gives them room to do a couple things: sign players when they lose people to injury, and make trades at the deadline, right?
Yeah.
To bring in players without giving up players.
No, I hear that. That's pretty thin. They're pretty thin if they do sign them for something like that, but they'll cut some players too.
So we're at what, 14 mil this year right now, I think is what we've got in available money.
Wasn't it 15? Oh, maybe it is 14.
It's 14.6, 14.9. I'm looking at it right
round it up. No, Mitch, I was kidding. I'm 48.
15.4. So right now we have 15, according to SpoTrack, 15.4. I think over the cap said 14.6. So 14, 15 mil we've got right now in cap space. Maybe they spend 4 million of it. I think because most teams try to stay around that $10 million mark to give themselves room to sign players in case injury happens, to absorb a contract at the trade deadline. That's the other reason why I don't think the Bears are going to they're not going to spend 10 mil on a guy. They're going to spend 4 or 5 mil on a guy if they can. And look, if you were to try to trade for Trey Hendrickson right now, where the hell are we coming up with 18 million to pay him this year?
Do I necessarily believe?
Podcast.
No, you have to restructure a lot of contracts is what you have to do.
Tremaine Edmonds.
You have to move money around. But if you get him at the trade deadline, let's say the Bears are better than everyone else. Well, it won't be hard for the Bears to be better than what everyone else is expecting because no one respects the Bears at all. So let's say you're the Bears, you're coming into the trade deadline, and you're winning. And you're in position to win the division, go to the playoffs, and now you can get trade. What's the trade deadline? Was that week 12? Is week 12 the trade deadline?
Well, now you're throwing a curveball, Ken. Now I'm the type of person, just like the running back room. Don't mess with it. Don't sign another running back, which we most likely won't. Now, what you said, if we're winning and going in the playoffs and everybody's playing good, their positions healthy, you don't touch it. Don't touch the team.
Trade deadline is November 4th.
Okay, so what week is that?
It's my dog's birthday.
What week is November 4th?
He said it's my dog's birthday.
Stormtrooper Solo's birthday, November 4th. It'll be 6.
I'll tell you in a second.
You like that, broski?
That's funny.
Star Wars.
You crack me up. So that's week 9.
All right, so week 9. So you're coming into week 9. Let's say you're 6. Yeah.
That's way after our bye week.
Yeah. Thank God. So let's say you're 6-2, or 5, or 6-1, whatever. You get them for not. You've got the cap space now because you didn't spend it. Look, we brought in Montez Sweat, and look what a accelerator he was when he got here. Edge rushers are a little bit different. You're not going to really mess the locker room. Trey Hendrickson doesn't seem like a bad cancer to the players in the locker room. His issues with upper management not paying him. You trade him, right? He comes here. Let's say we're 6-1, 6-2, whatever we'd be at right by the trade deadline. Let's say you're sitting at that point and you're poised to possibly win the division, and you're looking like a contender, and a Super Bowl contender with how you're doing, and that's the one area you're weak in. Now you could trade for Trey Hendrickson, give up a second rounder, and now you only have to pay him like $8 to $10 million left of his contract this year. You can absorb that with what you got left for this year.
I like your thinking, Ken, but I think Trey Hendrickson will be traded or signed by week 9.
Well, that's right to the Bears.
Oh, yeah. And to answer Mitch, what did he ask me? Oh, yeah, that's our big question.
Good
Sign-
question, Mitch.
Yeah, no, good question. Well,
What's the question?
it's my opinion of the offensive line. I mean, we signed 3 big guys. 2 of them are injury prone. Hopefully they stay healthy. Guys, this Ozzy guy, I'm telling you, I'm hearing good things about this guy.
Yeah, it's nice to finally have like a 6'8", like
Yeah.
tall, lean, mean, athletic left tackle. Like that's
Is Braxton Jones in trouble? Is that the question?
Well,
Do you think he's in trouble?
Braxton Jones isn't healthy yet, so it's like once he gets fully healthy, then we'll see how he does.
Yeah,
but
we'll see the whole
right
thing.
now, yeah, he's in trouble. Yes,
I
right now,
think if Ozzy is good and proves that he's a starter and proves that he is as good as or better than Braxton won't be back because they're not going to give him the contract. They're not going to pay him because here's the thing. Guess what? Our caps for next year, 48 people signed to the active roster currently for 2026. Okay.
That's all anybody does.
Guess how much cap space we have?
2026.
38 million.
Broski, what do you say without looking it up?
Oh man, 60 mil.
We're negative 4.6 mil for next year.
Oh, there you go.
With 48 signed out. Check this out, though. DJ Moore's going to get restructured because his cap number is 28.5 mil. Montez Sweats is 25 mil. JJ is 21 mil. Tremaine Edmonds is 17.4 mil.
I knew something.
So
There was too much.
Tremaine, like I said before, Tremaine
If
Edmonds,
they cut Tremaine,
Sweat,
if they cut Tremaine,
Braxton will not be on the team next year.
well, Braxton's already not on this because
Braxton won't. Yeah, he's off the books.
another contract. Now I knew you were going to say Tremaine, and I was ready for it.
Tremaine.
If you cut Tremaine Edmonds pre-June 1st, you save $15 million in cap space. You only take
Bingo.
$2.4 million in dead cap. Now, Cole Kmet, you
That's
said
10 mil.
8.4 is what you would say.
I rounded it up. I'm sorry.
And your dead cap would be 3.2. So between the two of them, your dead cap would be 5.5 mil, and you'd save 23 mil, and now you've got 21 mil to play with.
And now you cut Swift. Boom, you're up to 30 mil.
Thank God, me.
If you
Thank
cut
God,
Swift, yeah, you'd be at. If you cut Swift, you would be at 30 mil.
Boom.
Thank God, me and you are fucking owners of this team. I swear to God.
Hey, dude, I've been
So, but now look, and that's before we get the 20 million bump, right? There's gonna be a 20 or 30 million dollar bump. So that's pre-bump. Yeah, and so the bumps are going to happen. Some restructures are going to happen. Now, remember, that's also without Brisker being re-signed. Brisker needs to get re-signed. Our entire safety room needs to be either re-signed or something because not a single one of them is under contract for next year, I don't think.
not one.
So here's a question. Now, if Cole Kmet doesn't have a good year this year, and since Loveland's a rookie and he has a good year, do we go away with Kmet and just proceed with Loveland, even though we have Smythe on the board as well?
You could. I mean, if you cut Kmet pre-June 1st, let me go to post-June 1st, see if it changes at all. If you cut Kmet post-June 1st, you only take 1.6 million in dead cap, and you have 10 million it returned to you. And Tremaine Edmonds, his number stays the same whether you cut him pre or post June 1st. It doesn't make a difference. So those are two roster moves right there. We can save a lot of money. DeAndre Swift, if you cut him pre, you save 7.5. You cut him post, you now save 7.5. So you can cut him pre or post. The only one that would make a difference would be Cole Kmet. And yeah, if Cole Kmet just doesn't do shit this year, yeah, you just wait till June 1st and you designate him as a June 1st cut and take your $10 million back.
But what do you do? Do we go back to the how Ben Johnson likes the 2 tight end set?
Draft.
Yeah,
Right?
Another one?
to me, it's irrelevant what Cole Kmet does. It's irrelevant. Like he's not gonna be on the team next year. He's getting cut.
I'm thinking if we got if we drafted Warren, Cole Kmet was in trouble anyway.
Well, there's another option though, Broski. You don't have to cut Cole Kmet. If he does well this year, but the Bears want to move on for financial reasons, you trade him.
You could trade him.
You trade him. But I mean, if he has, let's say he has a great year. Let's say both him and Loveland, that two dual tight end set just works, and he puts up, 7 to 10 touchdowns, has some big games, whatever. It's going to be hard to just cut him if he produces. Right now, maybe you trade him and get something else you're missing. Like maybe you can't find the edge rusher you want. Maybe Deo doesn't work, and there isn't an edge rusher in free agency that either you can afford or that you want, but there's someone you can trade for that needs a Cole Kmet, and maybe you put him as part of a package.
Yeah, I mean, safety, tight ends, running back, defensive end. Those smell like draft picks for the Bears next draft.
And really, if Swift has a good year this year, if Swift and Rojo do well as a 1-2 punch, then they might not touch it. Because I get what you're looking, Broski. You're just kind of looking at the financial side of the house. Going to look at we can, Swift. Dude, Swift had a good year last year for a shitty offensive line. Let's say he puts up 1,300 yards, 1,400 yards, or let's say he does 1,200 yards and a bunch of touchdowns. I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to cut.
Well, here's another question too. If we cut Swift, we're going to have 3 young guys on this team. Got Rojo, we got Kyle Managi, and another draft pick. Do we need a veteran in there?
Rojo, to be honest, could be the odd guy out if he doesn't do anything this year. Like next year's his last year of team control. So you could be looking at 26 where you're running the same 3 of this year, and if Rojo doesn't do anything, he's gone, and it's Managi and Swift's Swift's contract be up? It might be. So I mean,
after next year,
yeah.
That's
what I'm saying is, or there's a chance that Managa is the only returning running back from this season. Swift and Bergeron could be gone. Then you draft a running back, and then you sign another one. It's really not. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, like I think running back's the least of the worries about where they're going to cut for money because look, if Swift has a strong season like he did last year, look, it was a strong season. Okay, only 950 yards rushing, but when you look at what he was up against with the line and everything else, he was in some cases the only spark the offense had. Right? If you looked at that Washington game, that touchdown he broke was the only spark the offense had the entire game to that point. So if he has a good year, if Rojo can soften up the middle and do his job and stay healthy, and Managi they bring him along, then 26 that running back room is going to look identical to 25. But defensive end, safety, linebacker. So on the defensive side of the ball, that's where you could find some changes. You have no safeties, I don't think, under contract.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you might be cutting Edmonds and saving $17 million, which you're going to be looking for a linebacker. If Deo doesn't do what you projected him to do when you signed him to the money, you're looking for an edge rusher, and then you still might be looking for offensive line as well. You're going to be looking for some depth pieces.
And Edmonds' contract is so egregious. I mean, even to try to restructure it, it's like, even if he turns into Ray Lewis in his prime this year, I don't know if that might be the only way he stays. It's really, he's gone. Like, there's no way Edmonds is on the team.
The thing about Edmonds and Edwards, is making $5 million less than your.
Yeah, it should be switched.
It should be switched, but they're like a duo. It's kind of like Briggs and Urlacher, T-Sizzle, and Lewis. They're a good combo together.
She's wondering if you want to do it.
Steve, to answer Steve's question, you let me know which Bears fans think we're going to win that division. I'll knock their teeth out. They're stupid. I don't think they're going to be winning that division.
I mean, honestly,
anyway.
Steve, I think any team in the North right now, the way the parity in this division, flip a quarter, who's going to win the division? I think the Bears. You can make an argument for the Bears. You can make an argument for the Packers. You can make an argument for the Vikings, and you can make an argument for the Lions. I'm sorry, and all 4 teams have a good argument, one way or the other. If the Bears' offensive line holds up and protects Caleb, there's no reason why this team can't win the division with the offensive weapons it has and the defensive weapons it has. There's no reason.
All right. I was saying that, and I said it this morning, I am scared of Minnesota. If it's not Detroit, I think it's Minnesota winning that division.
I am to a point defensively, offensively. It's, once again, like, look at the Bears' question's this. It's the offensive line's offensive question, right?
No.
And on the offensive side of the ball, we don't really have too many questions about defense. Like, yeah, we'd like a better pass rusher per se, but defensively, we're pretty good overall. Offensively is our big problem. It has been our big problem, and the big problem has been the offensive line. If the Bears fixed the offensive line, and now that offense works with Ben Johnson's play calling, you're going to tell me we don't have a legitimate shot to win the division?
Okay.
No. Next. I mean, love the Bears, but I'm just realistic. I'm a realist Bears fan.
If
they have to fix a lot more than the offensive line.
So what else is lacking that keeps the Bears from being in contention to win this division?
Pass rush.
Pass rush. Absolutely.
The interior. Well, look what they did with the interior. The interior pass rush is sick with what they've done. Remember, we have some additions there.
I know we got Grady Jarrett. Yeah, big one.
Grady Jarrett, and you've got Montez Sweat. Hopefully, who's healthy this year. You've got Gervin there. I mean, and Hideo, if he projects like they think he's going to project, defensive backfield is good still. Linebacking core is still good. Defensively, we slipped last year after we fired our defensive coordinator / head coach. Great. You brought in Allen, who's a good defensive coordinator. So I don't see this defense being terrible.
Yeah, to me, it's just all about, like I keep saying, though, it's all about the trenches. Like, I need to see a huge improvement from the O-line, a huge improvement from the D-line.
I don't think
that both happens, I mean,
I voted
for I'm not saying they're winning the division, but that'll definitely get them their 8 or 9 wins.
Yeah, I'm saying that. Look, I'm saying that if the offensive line is correct, and now Caleb can have time to throw the ball where he needs to throw it, they can run the plays they want to run, and he's not running for his life and just trying to make something happen. This offense could be scary good. The defense, I agree. The trenches needed a little bit of work. They brought in Garrett. I think Deo and Booker, between the two of them, with a healthy Sweat, provides the pressure. The backfield is not Brisker is back if he stays healthy. The defense is going to be good. There's no reason why the Bears can't compete. And like Mitch said, though, this is where I agree with Minnesota. Like if JJ McCarthy can just be a game manager, they're going to be scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a stacked roster.
I don't get that comment.
But their cornerbacks really aren't good, man. Like that's the place they're lacking.
Why is it that fans always say, "Oh, the quarterback can't read the field and read defenses"? Do you ever notice that the first argument is like, "Oh, the quarterback can't read defenses," and then, but really, I mean.
The other thing about Minnesota that I think they messed up with, and this is why I'm not just scared of like Minnesota anymore, is like I don't like the players they signed for their interior O-line. I think Ryan Kelly's washed up, and I think Will Fry sucks. Like, I don't think he's Ryan Bates, and they gave him $17 million a year. Like,
and defensively, they have nothing on the back end.
They have the corners aren't good. Their safeties getting kind of old and crusty.
They're beatable. They are beatable, but their offense can be scary good if JJ can just manage and put the ball where it needs to be.
Is JJ putting up 4,300 yards, 35 touchdowns, 67% completion like Darnold? No chance in hell. No chance. Like zero chance. So, yeah, you don't get better in the offseason, you get worse. I think Detroit got worse.
Look, that's not saying he can't read the field. It says he was reading the field and there was nothing there, and he did hold the ball to him. That part of – okay, so Mitch is talking about Caleb. He says Caleb can't read defenses. He can't read the field. Okay, and then he said, well, he held the ball too long and took too many late sacks. I'll agree with that early on. By the end of the year, he started to learn when to get rid of it because this kid was looking downfield, trying to find – reading the field, and there was nothing there, and that's where his mistake was just not getting rid of it. He got better with that as the season progressed, though, Mitch. So I wouldn't say that Caleb can't read a defense or the field.
Well, let's look at this, too. Like, including the playoff game, Goff had 15 INTs last year. Caleb had 6.
Whiskey sours and Chambord sours.
No,
Chambord.
yeah.
The other ones, he was on his back. The thing is that if I was Caleb too, and getting sacked that many times, every time you hike that ball, there's a distraction right then and there. Where am I going to get hit at?
Well, Mitch, I agree.
He's got to go over that.
And Mitch, he does have to improve, and I think we did see him improve in getting rid of the ball. As far as like, well, but there was an open guy. Well, you have to be able to see the open guy because there are other players at the field. Remember, we're looking from above the field. At field level, when these guys are running around in the moment, you might not see the guy on the completely opposite side of the field of you, wide open, where you have to heave the ball across field. You might not see it. He's not in your purview, and you've got a nanosecond to look. And every quarterback has that same issue, man. So I don't take that dig on Caleb as a dig. It just that doesn't. But you're right. He has to improve in knowing when to get rid of the ball and not take the sack. He's got He's got the Big Ben disease with that. He's got Big Ben's disease. Big Ben was terrible about that. He always held the ball.
Rookie quarterback. I mean,
he's a rookie quarterback, but he's like, if he struggles this year, is it going to be really a sophomore slump?
Well, some of it, yeah. Some of it, you're learning. Look, you got the Bears cycle. Second year, second head coach, second offense. He's in the cycle. But if he can take some, I think we'll see some regression with progression. Does that make sense? He'll regress in a couple areas and progress in others. And hopefully somewhere in the middle, if he gets a little bit better.
Well, that's what I thought the second year with Justin Fields, too.
Yeah, you know what, Mitch? 37-29. Oh, 20. Okay, at 20. 37-20. First off, look at the difference in offensive lines. And then how many picks did Caleb throw throughout the year versus Goff? How many pick sixes did Caleb have compared to Goff?
Like, I don't agree with some of the stuff he does. I'm not
silly Mitch.
Love you, man, but come on, man, you're not doing apples and oranges. You're apples here.
It's my.
I mean, Goff's been in the league how many years?
He does. I agree with Mitch, though. He does have areas to improve. I agree with you. I just don't agree with some of what you're saying he needs to improve on.
Yeah, I mean, that's stating the obvious. Like, every rookie quarterback has to improve. Like,
but he definitely needs to get rid of the ball faster, when there's nothing there.
Well, I know what Mitch was saying, too, that the receivers were open. He was overthrowing them. That's what he was trying to get at.
And some of that is rookie. Yeah, some of that's rookie and timing and all that. And I think some of that gets corrected this year, if not most of it. It's going to be interesting to see how he reacts to this new offense that's going to use the tight end more. That's going to use the running back to catch more. That's, he's got 3 legit targets like he had last year. It'll be interesting to see how he reacts to Ben Johnson's offense. And it all starts where? The offensive line.
You're comparing a guy in year 9 versus a guy who was a rookie. So, I mean, what are we really doing here, Mitch?
No, but I get Mitch's point, though, to a certain degree. I get where he's coming from to a degree, though. So, and he's not completely wrong. I mean, there are some areas where they have concern, like having Big Ben disease, holding the ball too long.
That's my goal.
I think the Bears are in a really good place. I don't think you're going to see, like I said, unless someone gets cut in the next week or two from some team that maybe it's an edge rush or something like, ooh, we can get this guy now. I don't see the Bears spending money till camp. But we can still talk about the rumors and how nice it'd be for so-and-so to be here. And even at camp, I think they're taking that, like Whiskey said, they're really wait and see approach of what's going on at camp before they pull the trigger on one of these other free agents. But we're about a minute left. Woody, any final thoughts?
Nope, not at all. Not at all.
What about you, Broski? Any final thoughts for tonight?
Final thoughts, yes. Season prediction. Coming out of the bye, week 5, Kyle Monangai will replace DeAndre Swift as the starting running back.
There's a
he's making he's making a 2 jump.
Yeah, the 7th rounder going all the way to RB1. Yeah. Of course.
Ooh,
hey, I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. Thank you guys for watching on X, Facebook, YouTube, and of course the TV stations. Go to your Roku or Amazon and search the Huddle Sports Network. Watch us on your TVs. Anywhere you go, don't forget Broski, myself, and maybe even Woody. You never know. We'll be on Ken and Ken in the morning tomorrow. We'll be back for Halas Hall, of course, on Sunday. So join us Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Central, noon on the East. It's that part of the season. Have your questions for what you think the Bears might be doing between now and camp. Everyone have a great hump day Wednesday night. We'll see you Sunday. Bye-bye. Bear down.
Bear down.